So there's this relatively new camera that's out on the market, and apparently it can like spin around and take your picture, and I'm trying to figure out if it's like maybe some new like selfie cam or something. Or not. This is the Zmodo Pivot. It's a home security camera with night vision, a Bluetooth speaker, temperature and humidity monitoring, and it comes with door and window sensors. And yes, if it detects motion, it can automatically spin around and record a video of the entire room. Hey everybody, I'm Joe DeGanzik, and this is Smarter Home Life, this time with a brand new product category. And before I go any further, just for legal and compliance purposes, full disclosure, all that good stuff, Zmodo did provide this product, the Pivot Home Security Camera, to Smarter Home Life for this review. Actually, they've provided a couple products that are all being tested right now. You'll see reviews on them coming out soon. So let's dive into some of the specs. The Zmodo Pivot has a full 1080p HD camera on board with a 135-degree field of view and 4x digital zoom, and two-way audio for remote listening and talking to those who are in the room where you place the pivot. It has 16 gigabytes of local video and image storage on board, and communications between the Pivot, Zmodo, and the Zmodo app are all secured with 256-bit encryption. The Zmodo Pivot, which is about the size of a standard aluminum beverage can, is powered via micro USB, and its app is available for both Android and iOS. So beyond just the basic specs, what does the Pivot do? What sets it apart from the competition and makes it unique? Well, for starters, there are motion sensors around the entire device that, if triggered, will cause the Pivot to start scanning the entire room and recording a video of it, which is very helpful. But if something happened in a specific part of a room, wouldn't it be better to just record that specific section of the space? One of the other unique features about the Pivot is the fact that it comes with two sets of these door and window sensors. Now these sensors, you pair them with the camera and then you set them up via the app. And they have, standard, sticky back material. I'm trying to hold them so I don't trigger it. I'll tell you that in a second here. So you place them on your doors or windows, whatnot. It comes with two of them. You can connect many of them to the camera. And you program them so that if you do happen to have a door and window that's, say, opened, the camera will rotate to a specific position, say that door and window, that you set up. This takes a little bit of the guesswork out, so the camera doesn't just rotate a full 360 degrees. Hello there, Pivot. It doesn't have to rotate, scan the entire room. It can rotate just a certain amount and get to the exact video footage, which it will record a little video clip. It'll send you a contextual alert to your phone and or wearable with the name of the sensors as you named it in the app. And I think this is a pretty cool feature because it does give you an exact alert about what's going on. It does capture a number of seconds of video right at the moment or a few moments after that sensor was opened. And obviously you do get, through the app, you get opened and closed state alerts from the sensors, from all of them that are connected. So beyond the automated scenarios and things that the Pivot can handle for you, obviously you want to be able to get into the live view, the two-way audio, and adjust things manually. And of course you can do that right through the Zmodo app. If you have a few of the Zmodo products, you can manage them right through the same interface. It's kind of a tabbed interface. You can set custom images for each one or get the live camera view if it's a camera, and so forth and so on. They've also got a couple of mode settings. I want to just jump into those right now just to show you. You can customize them. You can create new modes as well, and they're handled either manually in terms of switching, or you can set up a schedule for each one. I believe they are working on a geofencing feature, so it'll know when everyone's left home to go to, say, away mode. These are mainly, if I go into, say, away mode, you can adjust kind of for privacy purposes what things are on and off during various modes. If you're home, I don't always have the cameras necessarily turned on, but away mode, of course, I do. So anyhow, those are just a couple of the quick setup things. Like I mentioned before in kind of the specs, you do get temperature and humidity You can jump into that, see the latest data for, say, the past day, and also kind of a month view as well. And that's just helpful. Zmodo wants to kind of position this as kind of an all-in-one product, so they just want you to be able to see all the information from the sensors pretty easily. So temperature, humidity kind of gives you a little bit of information about your home when you're not there, at least. Maybe good for people who have like vacation homes and whatnot. Door and window, I'm not going to go into each one of these. That's where you handle the setup and pairing and whatnot, and adjust where it sees, where it jumps to when a door and window sensor is opened. And but obviously you want to go into the live view, so let's jump right in there. You can jump right into the again, it gives you the vertical view. I'll go to horizontal in a second. You can switch from kind of just low quality to an HD view, and obviously you've got two-way audio. You can listen in. There's an icon at the top for that. You can talk to the people in the room. Yeah, can I get a number 3 with a Coke? Or not. Anyways, that's positioned right, the icons are right there. You can take a screenshot, you can do a video capture recording, and you do get the audio with that as well, pretty easy. If you go widescreen, of course, then you can tap, you can get the controls to disappear, where they did that automatically. And there's I am in the shop, but I can move, I can go ahead and pan right over. And so pretty simple. It's a pretty well laid out app, and you do have the full control of panning and seeing all the stuff in terms of the information and two-way audio right from the live view. This is available obviously even if you're away from home over your cellular data connection. I'm going to jump right back here. We're going to jump to the other part of the app because obviously I want to show you when motion is triggered, and you do get to see what the video was recorded when it automatically found something and recorded it for you. So let's jump over to there. I'm going to go into the motion, and I'll look at the other camera. And anyhow, you get a couple different tabs. I'm going to jump to the all section, and it'll combine the video recording captures from the door and window sensors and also from motion detection. Motion is handled through the motion sensors that are around the pivot in addition to what it sees in the camera, and I'll show you how to adjust a little bit of that here in a second. You can tap on one of these, jump immediately to a video recording. This is what the video was just recorded by it on the internal storage. They do have the cloud service that is coming soon. It was in beta testing and I was checking it out, and it worked pretty well. It's pretty smooth. You have a timeline that you can scrub, and it jumps right to the event, and you can kind of scrub backwards in time as well. I believe 7-day and 30-day plans are going to be available, but I don't have any information on pricing. Sources familiar with the matter say it should launch early this summer, so look for information on that. I'll update the review once I get more information from them. But all the motion detection information and the times and so forth, and all the video captures are here right in one little area. So I'll jump back one last area, just if I go into the device settings, and to adjust, because you might not have you might have only a certain view or a certain portion of the camera view. This is a still image for now, but it does generally, the default is it regularly updates a little image from the camera itself every couple seconds. So I can set this to where I only want it to detect in a certain range or a certain square or rectangle within this view. So I'm going to pull this down so it say wouldn't, it's being a little bit difficult. There we go. There we go. So I'm going to pull it down just below the ceiling fan so it doesn't detect that. It just detects motion coming across, you know, basically the lower, let's say the lower 2/3 of the frame. And I can hit save and it'll jump me back to there, and I can always jump back right to the main dashboard screen. So those are a couple quick features I want to show you in the Zmodo app. So the live camera view, the recorded videos, the captured images, they all look pretty good. The Pivot actually has a pretty good quality image sensor on board, but of course these were done kind of in ideal conditions. You know, you can do that via daylight and they look pretty good, and of course here artificial lighting at night, but that's not always possible. So what about in complete darkness? So the main camera doesn't really quite see well in the dark, so I've cut us over to the live feed from the Zmodo Pivot camera, which does have night vision capabilities. Like other cameras on the market, other security cameras, it does have an infrared illuminator on the front, which can basically light up areas in night vision up to about 30 feet. I'm about 13 feet away, 12, 13 feet away from the camera, which is sitting on top of my fridge over there. Now, of course, at night, you do want these images to be as sharp and as detailed as possible, and the same rules apply. The farther a subject like me gets away from a light source, the less detail there will be. It's going to be less bright and just less visible. And at night, unfortunately, is probably when, incidents, break-ins, things are going to occur, something happening in your home that shouldn't be or whatnot. So you want these images and these videos to be as detailed as possible, but the built-in illuminator can only go so far. So the question would be is there a product on the market that somehow could help with lighting up other areas or quite a bit of areas in your home to work well with the night vision system? And maybe that product is made by a company that we're all familiar with. It's not Zmodo, but it's someone else. Maybe it's a Wi-Fi connected product. It does color changing and other special effects. And also it happens to help your Zmodo Pivot see better in the dark. We'll say hello to the Lifx Plus. It's the first color changing smart bulb with infrared LEDs on board. The Lifx Plus, which launched near the end of 2016, does come in the two kind of standard varieties that most people use, the A19 kind of standard light bulb shape and the BR30 flood bulb, which is the one I'm going to focus on right now. And to be specific, neither of these come with the Pivot or any other security camera that I know of, but maybe they should. Anyhow, these have the same capabilities as the third generation Lifx smart bulbs, except they do have the infrared LEDs on board that will turn on automatically when you dim the Lifx Plus down to very low brightness levels or you turn it off entirely. Now, I could go into the specifics and details and specs and all that, but let's just do a demo. So here's the main space of the home studio all lit up, and now we're going to cut the lighting and switch over to night vision. And sometime later, it looks like someone has broken in through the back bedroom and is now looking around as they make their way into the home. But they're not easily visible because they're pretty far away from the Pivot's infrared light source. In this example, the hallway downlight has now been replaced by a Lifx Plus floodlight. And while the entire room is dark, its infrared LEDs are completely lighting up that back area. And now the burglar back there is much more visible to the Zmodo camera. Had this been a real break-in, this footage would be much more useful in possibly identifying this person. So to wrap up the review, I do think the Pivot is a pretty good little home security camera. It actually may surprise some of you that it's actually been my very first experience with a security camera in general, having one here in the home studios where I live and of course work and produce these shows. But some of you may say, well, where's the comparison? And let's just address the big elephant in the room. That would be Nest and the Nest cams, formerly Drop Cam, which can be priced at up to twice as much as what the Pivot goes for, about $99 on Amazon. So I still think that you're getting a pretty good value with the Pivot in terms of maybe it doesn't have the whiz bang or the name cachet, but the Nest Cam just points in one direction. There's no motor, there's nothing, there's no door and window sensors. The Nest, of course, has a great ecosystem built out with various connections to other systems. Zmodo doesn't yet have that, but they do have an ecosystem of their own products that they've been working to build out and make work well together. And from what I've seen thus far, that is the case. Now, according to sources that we've talked to, Zmodo is actively working on their first integration with a major smart home platform. What that is and when it's going to happen, we don't know, but I would assume sooner than later. The other thing is their cloud-based service for video recording hasn't been quite ready yet. It just came out of beta testing. I've been testing it as I've had the product for a few months now. And it's also pretty good. There's a couple of wrinkles that they need to work on, but that should be completed and ready to go. We've also heard that video, the storage service and the for playback of video and kind of scrubbing in a little timeline and whatnot. Should be ready, we've been told, early summer. And pricing and other details haven't been made available to us either. Right now, of course, the only way to record the video is right on the device itself, which of course, if someone breaks into your home, the worst case scenario, and they take the device, then you're out of luck. But I do think that having a secure encrypted storage solution, which that's what Zmodo is going to be providing for video storage and playback for these security devices, is actually an essential. So just use good security practices, good passwords, and so forth, and you should be okay. Zmodo has been in the security business for a number of years. They're transitioning into the home automation space as well, but they're not forgetting their roots. So it's a solidly, I can't talk tonight, solidly built device with good image quality. That's kind of the main thing that you want with a good interface, a good app, and I don't know that you can really ask for that much more. And they're working on these other integrations and stuff for the future. So I would say that it's a pretty good product, and I've been happy to test it and to review it and to have it in my home. So that's about all I can say. That is the end of the review. If you'd like to purchase it through one of our affiliate links, it'll be in the review, in the review on the website, and the video notes on YouTube right here. Smarter Home Life is made possible in part by wonderful, kind, amazing, generous viewers and readers just like you. This year we are going advertising free and 100% independent, but to do so, well, we need your help. To learn more how to become a monthly contributor, if you haven't already become one, just head over to our Patreon page. Here's a quick short web link, supportshl.com. I'm Joe DeGancic. Make your home just a little bit smarter. It takes just a little bit of effort every single day. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.